Hi, everybody. It's Kimberly back with the Twin Flame family. It is Monday, May 29th, and it's Memorial Day in the U.S. And I wanted to post a very short video. I had posted a video yesterday or 2 days ago for the energy update of this week. And one of the things that had come up that I got a couple of questions about via email is, this notion of hanging on versus letting go, or keeping the faith. I think the way I articulated this was keeping the faith without attachment, and recognize that every time I hear the Twin Flames who I work with, or, when you write the comments on the YouTube, I get it. I mean, I know how difficult it is to find that balance between what we deem as like surrender and what we deem as like letting go and not wasting time and not waiting. And so I feel like it's just a big split. It's like surrender, you really won't know what that feels like till you get there, but I tell you, it is joyful. Being able to hold the faith there is much easier. Now, when the ego's all in the mix, which it is on this side, and it's saying, it's trying to protect you. I can hear, when you guys make the comments, I can hear your heart armor. I can feel it. And I can discern it quickly because I know the cues. And you guys, it's just for you to kind of take the mirror, look at yourself when you're doing it and go, okay, you know what? I recognize that this is my defense mechanisms. It's typically your defense mechanisms that are trying to protect you from getting hurt or being foolish or being stupid or wasting time or all those other notions that you might have. And that protection mechanism saying, I don't want to be a twin flame anymore. It's saying, I don't want to do this. I'm cutting all ties. I'm blocking all contact. I'm walking away. That's it. This is the end of this. Or it's looking at the 3D and saying, this couldn't possibly ever play out because, look at the circumstances. And all of this is it's making you feel worse about the situation. It's making you feel like something is out there forever and is never coming back or is not going to heal or change or grow. And it will, as we all know, the major shifts that have happened in 1 year's time. So remember that when the ego gets involved and it's putting up all this defense stuff, it's not really how you feel. So if I say to you in those moments, in an ideal world, if you could be together, would you still want that? Yes. And most of you who I've asked this to, you go from, no, I don't even want to be with him anymore. No, I don't want to be with her anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done with it. I'm over it. I'm moving on. I'm not waiting. I'm not wasting my time. And then I ask that question and you're like, well, yeah. Well, yeah, of course I would want to be with him or her if I could, let's say right now. But the thing about the right now is this is not your timeline. And timelines are changing so fast right now. And everything's shifting and moving and everything's movable. I want you to think of it as like a chessboard where everything is like as we grow and expand, and as the different energies come through, the planetary energies come through, we are shifting and changing all the time. And these are big life changes. These are like lining with authenticity and really awesome stuff. So going back over here, how do we hold the faith and stay unattached? And like I said, that is going to come when you're closer or in surrender, or at least know what surrender feels like. And that's very much a place of allowance. It's not acceptance. And I differentiate those two terms. And this is my own way of looking at it. Perhaps this will help you. But when you accept something, you're accepting a definitive. It almost has the implication that nothing is going to change or shift. Like, for example, if you accept an invitation, well, you're accepting an invitation to go to this place at this time, and that's it, right? or if you accept a job offer, you're accepting this role with this company for this, salary, and that's that. That's not the same offer you'd accept for another position. Even in the same company, they'd make you a new offer. So when we accept it, we're accepting like our definitive thing. And that's how it feels to me when we talk in the twin flame dynamic. It feels very definitive. Like, no, I accept that, my twin flame's in a karmic relationship. And there's like that wonk, wonk, that energy, I can feel the low vibrational shift. And it's one of waiting, looking at the lack of something that hasn't shown up yet, feeling really doubtful, feeling really fearful, and not being in like the upness of it all. And you might say, well, how can I be up there when I'm suffering and pain and missing my twin flame? And, when we're like, whether we're grieving or just missing someone, it's always us missing a piece of ourselves. So they're just saying, get in alignment with yourself. It's hard, especially when you're grieving or if you're going through some really low, low feelings and deep, deep sadness or whatever that is. Just let the emotions flow through you. And then when you're able to, lift yourself out into doing something meditative or joyful or creative and getting back in alignment with yourself, and then start to reprocess at that point, because that's the place from which you can start to go, okay, this isn't so bad. Things do change. I do have hope, and having faith. You have to have faith in your union, or else it's not ever going to happen. Okay. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. That's the truth. You have to have faith in your union. The thing about it is that the reason why we feel like that's such a faux pas, don't say that, don't dream about what could be. I don't want to imply that there's ever a romantic. Well, we know that twin flames come together because it's a soul contract. It's one soul that's split into two there, and then it's an evolution, and it's the expansion and awakening of two individuated people that are getting on mission and rising up and helping to raise consciousness. And when these people come together, there is, especially as they get further along, two individuated people on their mission, then there's the opportunity for union. And that's what many of you don't understand when it comes to the separation process. It's not just ego running. You're being given that time because you're not in alignment yet. And you may come in and out and have check-ins or get back together and separate, but you're still not going to come into harmonious union until you're further along. And so you might be like, oh God, I feel so far away or whatever. And that's okay, because the opportunity for you there is to say, that actually will be closer the more I dig into my work. And that's the truth. I'll debug that myth for you. Like, you don't have to, it doesn't have to feel far out there. If you just know that the more work that you do on you, on your healing, on your growth, on your spiritual connecting in your spiritual gifts and your mission, the more you focus on that, the more you do, one, you're just going to be happier, and you will be in faith and in hope rather than looking at the lack. You'll just shift into that place. You'll see. And many of you have got there, or, you know what it feels like, and you're like, wow, I want more of that. And, so it's there for the taking, okay, the union, and it's not going to happen on your timeline. And of course it's incredibly painful to come into reunion and to separate, and to come into reunion and then to separate. And then to not know. And then I think we start to have the doubts. Well, maybe I'm not supposed to have a romantic. Well, maybe not, if that's not what your soul is guided to. The timing might not be right now. It might not line up in this lifetime. But you've come together to spark this massive awakening. And no matter what, whatever's in alignment for you is going to line up with you. So if you've got unhealed wounds, you're going to find new karmic relationships or new relationships that are going to mirror those wounds back to you, like the real core wounds. So just keep healing, keep doing, and what's in alignment for you will come into your life. And when the twin flame's ready, That'll show up too, and it'll be really harmonious. However, you're like, well, what do I do with all these feelings? What do I do with all this love that I have for my twin flame? What if it takes 9 years? Or what if it never happens? And I think we just got to take the what if out of it and go back to what we know. And really think about that. What do you know? Because most of this is our inner knowing has already called to us. It's already shown us glimpses of the future. And it's showing us that union potential. And then we're just denying it. We're shutting it down and we're denying it. And then we feel like crap because we're just denying our own feelings and denying our own truth because we feel like it's ridiculous and we're absurd and this is crazy. And how is this 3D circumstance ever going to shift so that we can get all the way out there? But let me tell you, it shifts much quicker when you slip into you. And when you don't feel like it's all the way out there. Okay, so this time space, like let's say it's attainable right here, okay? Or let's say that you may have to wait till, things line up and it's right here. But what I'm trying to show you is that it doesn't matter if it's here or here. This is all an illusion. This is all an illusion. You can actually eliminate this space, this waiting, this wanting, this yearning by just getting in you and doing you. Because guess what? It's going to close the gap. And I can promise that. It's going to close the gap on that it feeling so far away. And it will affect the other twin. It is through you owning your power and really getting on it, which I feel like, oh my God, the majority of the divine feminine in the collective right now are doing that or making some really big shifts if they're not already like in it. And I know that the more she does, the more he's going to start to get glimmers and awaken. But I do feel like it's correlated to her faith, her hope without attachment, her still not denying those things that she's seen for the future that have been shown to her. Not that she imagined, not that she's crazy or delusional about, just it's the problem is we see those things and then we go, well, how is that ever going to happen? How could that ever be? And then it's like all the yucky feelings pile on top of that, which is the doubt, the squashing the excitement, the squashing the hope, the squashing the faith, because we feel like it's going to be a long wait, essentially. We're like, if it's not here or if it doesn't show up tomorrow, well, but you know what? The reason why it's not showing up tomorrow is because there's another class for you to take. There's another teacher for you to meet. There's another wound for you to have an aha moment about. There's more for you to do on your mission, or there's a whole new mission waiting for you to step into it. There's new ideas and tributaries from all of these things, right? Little branches spewing off of all of these pieces of this journey, right? Like teachers, you might meet new soul friends, and then you get influenced by other people that help you come into your power. It could be that as you take classes, you figure you want to teach, and then you start teaching, and then through the teaching, you launch something else, and you launch something else. And this is a journey. This is your journey, and you have to let it unfold, and you have to just like grab your paddle and go, okay, I'm going. Like I am not in a speedboat trying to get somewhere, because this is actually about, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening as you're paddling along, and this is for you. And you can still maintain the purity of love that you have for your twin flame and not deny it. You have to give yourself permission. A lot of this is just that. Shutting your emotions down, putting the heart armor up, staying in protective mode. And we have to get into love, full love with ourselves. And there's nothing to fear, because when we love unconditionally, we cannot be rejected. We are not rejected. We are, when we're just loving, we're trusting. We're trusting that anything is possible, and anything is possible. So go back to a place of love, and I challenge all of you that whoever views this video to take a moment and remember all the things that you love about your twin flame and beam him or her the biggest golden light and the strongest, with the strongest power and emotion in it, and just send them love and wish them well and hope that they are well, and imagine them in a more healed state. Imagine them, free from the karmic relationship, not because you need the karmic relationship gone, but because that's what's going to maybe give way to the freedom that will help in their awakening and their truth and their stepping into their authenticity. Hope that for them, but without you involved, and see that person healed and see that person in a happy way and smiling, and see your twin flame being confident and knowing what he or she wants, and being in just a better place, because I hate to say that so many believe that people don't change, but especially along this journey there's a huge transformation here, and transformation is always possible. So don't forget the power of love, and don't forget that faith and hope still has to live on. You cannot just squash your faith and hope. It is a piece of the recipe to union, is to still hold that. But the tricky part is without the attachment. So if anyone has questions, wants to work with me and to help navigate this better, you can email me or just book a session on my website. It's thetwinflamefamily.com. So www.thetwinflamefamily.com. All right, you guys, I will see you soon. Hope that was helpful. Bye.